Ross, last time you played England, I think you scored 181 on one leg and won a game for New Zealand in Dunedin, and you've also spent a fair bit of time at Durham. How do those two factors help you in the build-up to this match?
It feels like a long time ago, and Durham was about 9 years ago. But no, I have fond memories, lovely people up here. Yeah, I think every time we played England in the last little while, it's been a great series. I think came down to the wire in that series back home, and the last time we were here was a must-win. I think it was 2-2, and Johnny Bairstow came in fresh and batted outstandingly well. Obviously, another big game coming up tomorrow, and hopefully we're up for it.
Ross, from your experience here and from what you've just seen of the deck out there today, what are you expecting tomorrow in terms of how it play?
It was nice to see the wicket. The last two games we haven't been able to see the wicket. I think it's going to be a good wicket. I think we saw yesterday Sri Lanka, West Indies, 300 played 300. So I think we got to expect that's going to be something. Scores of 300 plus are probably out there, but in saying that, both teams have got very, very good bowling lineups that can exploit conditions if suited, and vice versa. Some very powerful batting lineups as well.
Can I go again? Lovely, wonderful. Martin Guptill probably as well as anyone in this team. Apart from that 70 that he scored in the first game, it's maybe been a bit few and far between for him. Is it a matter of when, not if, and when he does finally get it again, is he the type of guy that you think will go quite big?
Yeah, I think you don't have to look too far. He was the leading run scorer in the last World Cup, and he'd gone into that World Cup not scoring any runs, and his confidence down. I think sometimes you need a bit of luck, and he certainly needs that. But he's been training very hard, and the team are fully backing him. It's a very important position, obviously up the top of the order, and getting Guppy firing is a key part to our team. And if he can do that tomorrow, then it certainly sets a tone for our batting unit, and our power down the order with Neesham and de Grandhomme, and hopefully not having them to do as much work as they've probably had to do in the last couple of matches.
Ross, what do you make of claims in the British press that Kane is too timid and too cautious? They say he's got a sedate style. I just want to know what type of leader Kane is, and how does he compare to Brendan McCullum?
I've got to trust you that that's what they've said. I haven't read them. I haven't read the papers. No, I think any time you're a captain, I played under many different captains. Obviously, Brendan was the extreme, and Kane. Has his own unique style as well. I think at the end of the day, you've got to be true to yourself and be authentic, and more often than not, you get the right result. I think, Kane is a fantastic world-class batsman and a world-class captain. You don't have to look far. The last couple of matches, there's some pundits out there saying that he was a great captain. We lose a couple of games and he's a bad captain. He's still a great captain, leads from the front, and the team respect him and love playing under him, and would love as a team to take a little bit of pressure off him and score some runs, and not let him do everything. But in terms of Kane, he's a great captain to play under, and looking forward to him hopefully continuing that good toss record that he's had over the last little while as well.
We'll go to the British press. John?
Ross, New Zealand obviously racked up plenty of points in those early games. We've had 2 defeats back to back. Are you concerned you've just gone off the boil a bit?
No, I think those there were some close matches up the front there as well, and we're happy to get on the right result. I think the game was a little bit closer against Australia than it probably looked. I think we had them under pressure at the start there, and we probably it was quite a tough wicket at Lords, but we definitely haven't got the momentum that we would have liked in the last couple of games. But tomorrow's a different story against different opposition. We know we've played England a lot over the last little while, and looking forward to hopefully different conditions than the last 2 matches that we've had to play.
How are you regarding tomorrow's game? I mean, mathematically you're pretty much secure for a semi-final place, but are you still regarding it as a kind of must-win game? Yeah,
definitely. I think every time you play, you want to win and go out there and put your best foot forward, I guess. And momentum is a big part of cricket. It's not the be-all and end-all, but we're definitely going out there to win tomorrow, and hopefully we can, whatever we do first, that we can do well.
Ross, would you play East Sodi tomorrow, having seen that pitch?
Oh, that's a tough question. Yeah, I think we'll just have to wait and see the balance of our side, what we think is needed. I think the wind, if it's as windy as it is today, then playing 2 spinners is definitely an option.
Cool. And the mic just to the back there, Andrew. Oh, I'll go to the front.
Yeah.
Pass to Andrew.
Yeah.
Go.
Ross, what's Lockie Ferguson like to... I'm just here.
Oh, sorry, mate.
That's all right. What's Lockie Ferguson like to face in the nets, or do you try and avoid him? And is he the kind of bowler that will kind of look at his opposite numbers, say Jofra Archer and Mark Wood, and will he try and compare pace and that sort of thing? Does he get into that kind of battle, or is it just kind of he just wants to knock the batsman's head off?
No, I don't think he would look towards the opposition too much. Definitely, obviously, our fastest bowler on our side, and you don't go on the front foot too often, and you don't smack him over his head because you know the next ball's going to be at your head, so you just smile at him and say, well bowled, and just keep pumping his tyres up, and they sort of just come around here. So it's just when you look over at Guptill and he's smacked him over his head, and then the next ball's zinging around. So no, he's he's been a great addition to the team and had a fantastic World Cup, and over here getting those wickets in the middle stages are very important, and he's been able to do that. Got some key wickets in the last match, and he didn't bowl today in the net, so that was good, enjoyable.
Yeah. Ross, you mentioned Brendan was an extreme and Kane was a bit different. Could you just elaborate on those differences as captain?
Oh, I mean, Brendan would want to set very attacking fields throughout the whole match, and Kane would, pick his moments when he wants to attack. I mean, you can talk to numerous people depending on who you want to talk to, which is the right way. At the end of the day, if you win cricket, it doesn't matter how attacking or if you're not attacking. Winning the game of cricket at the end of the day is our main objective, and however you do that.
Are you guys aware of how much England were influenced by the New Zealand side at the last World Cup? And do you have any thoughts about how they've changed since then?
Not really. I think in terms of, I don't know the ins and outs. Obviously, Morgs and Brendan have a very good relationship, and England have, since the last World Cup, have been the form side, both away from home and at home. They play an attractive brand of cricket, and they trust their batting lineup and bowling lineup to come in. I think Archer has added a different dimension and balance to their side. He's a fantastic bowler, but I probably haven't seen the best of him with his batting, because I think he's a fantastic batsman as well. No, I think you've still got to be authentic to yourself, and I think they've found a brand of cricket that's suits them down to a T, and how much of that's come down to us, I'm not sure, but they're definitely playing a great brand of cricket that a lot of teams around the world are probably looking up and saying, that's a bit of us.
Ross, just personally, your batting, you've had starts, you've had a couple of important 50s, but that big innings has not come around. Where do you feel your game is at right now?
Yeah, hopefully not too far away. I felt pretty good throughout the whole tournament. A couple of strangles down the leg side, and a couple of good balls. That's the nature of the beast in cricket. You're not too far away from hopefully getting a few out of the middle and getting their confidence up and spending a bit of time. But sometimes in these situations you just got to do what's best for a team and contribute in any sort of way, whether it's with the bat or whether it's just rallying around the youngsters and trying to pump their tyres up in these tournament situations. But no, I think there's still a long way to go in this tournament, and I think hopefully we're not too far away to playing the brand of cricket we know we can play, because we definitely haven't played up to our potential so far, and hopefully that's not too far away.
Also, just as a team, has any thought come to being, what's your preference for a semi-final venue?
No, not at all. I think first and foremost, we said at the start of the tournament, doesn't matter if you go in as a first seed or the fourth seed, as long as you make the semi-finals. Once you make the semi-finals, you're only two games away. But first, let's try and concentrate on tomorrow first, and then hopefully we put it in our own hands, and we don't have to rely on other results.
As you probably know, Brendan McCullum's been a commentator in the last few games, and he's regularly calling on the team to be more aggressive. What do you make of those claims? Does the team need to be more aggressive? And what do you make of England after they've beaten India? Have they become, I guess, complacent or overconfident?
I'll answer that first one, then you can. I've lost the last question. Brendan, I played with Brendan for 20 odd years. As a youngster, he's going to be aggressive regardless of the situation. It's just who he is, and whether it's gambling on the bus or commentating, he'll be aggressive. It's fantastic to listen to and watch, but as I said, you just got to play what's in front of you, and we'll just have to wait and see. And you can ask that other question.
It was about England beating India.
Yeah, do you think England's become overconfident or complacent since they had that win over India?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a good game of cricket, and obviously a big match for them as well. They know that they need to win, but if we'll just try and focus on ourselves as much as we can, and whatever we do tomorrow, first we do well.
Cool. Nice one, bro.
Just back to that question about whether tomorrow's must win. Do you believe in momentum in sport, and how important is it to get momentum for a semi-final?
I think you just need to look back at a few of my comments over the last 3 or 4 years. I always say that word momentum in my speeches. I think it does play a big part, regardless of what it is. But however you make those semi-finals, as long as you get there, tomorrow's a big game for both sides. Momentum going into that semi-finals for whoever makes it is big, but still doesn't mean that if you do lose, you can't come hard and win those last 2 games.